Hey everyone, this is the tutorial for the In the Hoop earrings. We are going to get started by hooping medium weight stabilizer and running step 1. Step 1 of this project is the placement stitch. Now that this step is complete, we are going to grab a piece of vinyl. This is a brand new vinyl from my Embroidery. It is a glittery pink. We're going to cover the placement stitch. You can secure this with adhesive spray, scotch tape, or painter's tape, whichever you prefer. I'm just going to hold it in place while it stitches step 2, which is the placement stitch for the rivets. Once this is complete, I'm just going to snip this little jump that's right there, just so it's out of the way. Then we are going to remove the hoop from the machine. That way we can go ahead and adhere another piece of vinyl to the back. This particular piece has to be secured, so you can either again use spray adhesive or tape, which in this case I'm using tape. Return the hoop back to the machine and run the final step. If the set of earrings you are running only has 2 steps, you will place your front vinyl and back vinyl onto the hoop before running step 2. Once this step is complete, we will remove the hoop from the machine, and I'm going to move over to another workstation to show the process of adding all the hardware. Step 3 is now complete, and this is what the finished product looks like. I'm going to pull it over to our desk and go ahead and start cleaning up the project. That jump stitch right there needs to be clipped before cutting, just so everything is clean. Also, if there is any jumps or stray stitching on the back of the project, you want to snip those prior to cutting out, just so your earrings are clean. I'm just going to punch a little hole in the stabilizer, pull out our project, remove all the excess, so your excess tape, excess stabilizer. You don't have to do this process, I just prefer to remove everything. I will be cutting out both of these hearts. I cut particularly slow, so if you don't want to watch this process, you can skip about a minute ahead, and that's where I will be starting on the hardware. So now that I'm finally finished cutting, we're going to start punching the holes. I am going to be punching that hole with the small punch of the crocodile. You can also use the leather punch. Just make sure that the punch setting that you're using on the leather punch is large enough for the rivet. So I'm just going to repeat this process and get that punched. You will notice that there is not a guide hole for the actual earring hardware. The punch that we're using is so tiny that it wasn't registering for stitching. So you're just going to turn the dial to the smallest setting. You are going to line this up with the existing rivet hole. So it's real simple. You'll line it up right there, punch. You want to get as close to the stitching without hitting it and get that punch. And so you're going to see you'll see the angle right there, and you just want to repeat this process on the second earring. Once you get used to the punching, it's actually very easy and they line up well. So let me just get this one punched real quick. Now that all of our punches are complete, we're going to actually start with the rivets. You want to set the rivets before you add your earring hardware so you don't bend anything in the process. This is a 8mm studded rivet. This is the ones from Hobby Lobby. You're just going to grab that rivet, put it through, and add the little cap to the back. You can actually feel when they press together. So here they're secure. I can kind of move it around and then just go ahead and press it with either your cam pliers or press it with your rivet set. Then we're just going to repeat this process on the second earring. We're going to put that jewel through, grab the little cap, press it on the back, and secure it with that cam setter or again your rivet tool. So now that those are complete, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to move this out of the way. For the hardware, you're going to need 2 fish hook earrings, and these are very inexpensive. They also come in sterling silver, and you're going to need 4 heavy gauge jump rings. 2 are going to be to each earring. So here are the 4. They're a little bit thicker. I chose to go with the heavy gauge so that they would hold the vinyl. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to grab one of the jump rings, and in order to install them, we're going to need 2 sets of pliers. You're going to grab a side of the jump ring with one set, and then go ahead and grab the other side so you can kind of see the opening. You want to twist the jump ring and not pull side to side. See, grab it on there and then twist. If you pull it side to side, it's going to weaken and you take the risk of breaking it. Let's see, I'm trying to see if you can see it. It kind of looks like a spiral. So you want to now place the earring, and you're also going to grab another jump ring and you're going to place it on there as well before closing. If you cannot see this process well, I did post an additional video in the group. So go ahead and grab that jump ring on one end, grab the other, and twist it back. Keep in mind, this hardware is tiny, so it takes a little time to get used to it, and it's a trial and error. So if something works better for you and if something is easier, go ahead with that method. So now we have both of the jump rings installed. You're going to take your earring, and at the end of the earring is a little loop. So I'm hoping you can see that. There's a little hoop and there's a bead. So if you can see that right there, just grab one of your pliers and you're going to open that little loop. You want to open it slightly and not bend it up too much so it still curves back once you get your earring on. So you'll just slide that earring onto the little hoop. You see where it's slid on. Grab those pliers again and close the earring. Again, be careful with this and take your time to get it closed how it was originally. And here is our completed earring. You're just going to go ahead and repeat the hardware process for the second earring. You're also going to see that there are lobster clasps. I have this little bow here. It has 2 jump rings and a lobster clasp. These are good to attach to your zipper bags, and you could also take some of the earrings and add a lobster clasp and add it to handbags and such. And these are all the earring options that we're currently going to have. This option is labeled earrings 1. This is actually the option that I believe could be used as a decorative zipper pull or added to a handbag. And that completes the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it.